My uncle always tells me, you and Rosie have been playing softball since before you could walk. You know, as soon as we could pick up a bat is when my dad had a tee down there and down in the basement, and he has videos of us hitting off a tee and, you know, with our little basketball hoop, just slam dunking it here and there. Both of us threw both ways and hit both ways for a while, and we both pitched. We even played in a league where we switched off pitching and catching every game, which was pretty fun. But it wasn't until after my sophomore year of high school that I even realized that I was that good comparatively. And it sounds so funny saying this now, but for me, like, batting 500 sounded normal. You know, like, I was like, yeah, I want to get a hit half the time. And you know, you don't even realize that batting 500 is like, you know, batting 300 is incredible in our sport. Our love for softball just took off, and we got more competitive, and it became even more fun. And we decided that we wanted to go to college and that we knew we wanted to go together. And so as we got into the recruiting process, I mean, as soon as we knew that KU was interested in us, we didn't really even want to look anywhere else, because it's been our dream to go to KU. With the coaches at the time, we verbally committed. And then a week later, literally my next basketball game, I remember having one of the best basketball games of my life, having no idea that it would be the last one that I would ever play. Going down in that moment, in that pain, and knowing that I just committed, you know, you've got to think that there's a good chance that, you know, they might have started looking for other players after I had torn my ACL, because the fact of the matter was that's a huge developing year. You know, pretty much the year before you go to college. A lot of pressure was put on Rosie, because how she was going to perform that softball year was, you know, going to kind of help to secure our spots at KU. It's almost like she was playing for the both of us. I felt like there was just a lot of anxiety about, you know, why it was all happening, and just the timing of everything, of having had just committed to play softball at KU. And about a month later, I tore my ACL in the same knee, and we ended up doing our entire rehab process only 2 weeks apart from each other. Every day, sometimes you feel like you take leaps forward and then you just take steps back, and it's a constant process. It almost took our identity away from softball and away from sports for that period of time, and we kind of had to figure out, well, who am I? It was actually on Halloween when my mom broke the news to us that she had breast cancer. And you know, cancer is just one of those things that, of course, you hear about it, but you don't think it's going to happen to someone you love. And so that was just a huge turning point in our lives, was that whole season of life. As a family, you see the things that no one else sees. You know, you experience her hair falling out in the bathroom, and you experience, you know, the nights that she has to go to the emergency room, and you experience, you know, just so many things that unless you've had someone in your life that's gone through something like that, you just don't understand. And you start to see the bigger picture of life and the things that matter a lot more. And when it came down to it, yeah, I love softball and I was going to play in college, but that wasn't my identity, and that wasn't who I was going to define myself as. When we came in as freshmen, it was Coach Smith's first year. You know, she hadn't necessarily recruited me as a player, and, you know, Rosie and I came in and she saw us for our speed. And in our game, if you have a lot of speed, then that means that you're typically a speed player or a slap hitter.
You know, it's tough to adjust to the college game, and I'll never forget I had the conversation with her, you know, Maggie, if you're going to be in our lineup, you're going to have to hit, because we have a new slapper coming in who has extremely good speed, and we're going to need you to help us out with some power. And she accepted that challenge. She worked extremely hard with Coach Werbach, our hitting coach, at practices, did a lot of extra work, and in our first fall game, she hit for the cycle with a grand slam. So she sent me a message in that game that she wanted to play.
For me, it was about every single individual at bat that I had that mattered, and it wasn't about the one that happened before that, and it wasn't about the one that was going to happen after that. It was about that one, and that's where my focus was. And I was humbled beyond belief to see my name under the likes of first team All Big 12 and you know, academic All-American especially. I would have never, you know, dreamed that would actually happen.
For someone to lead the Big 12 in hitting, that's a big deal. You know, the Big 12 is one of the premier softball conferences in the country, and for her to lead the Big 12 last year in batting average, that was something really special. You know, and she's a leader in the athletic department. I think a lot of people look to her and look up to her at what she's been able to accomplish on the field, off the field, and in the classroom.
I think just looking back on the whole experience with my mom, it's just so symbolic of what we experience as student athletes all the time, of just going through hard things but just coming out a completely better person. Being able to look back and recognize that I would not be the person that I am today if I had not gone through that experience, it's something that causes me to fall on my knees and just thank God so much for just the opportunity that I have to even play this game. And it truly was a gift for trusting my heart and trusting our heart as a family and realizing that was what we were supposed to be and that everything was going to ultimately work out.
Maggie has talent, but the reason that she's good is her heart and her work ethic. And I think that it shows that, you know, at this level, talent is not enough. You know, you can come in and you can be a small scholarship player. You know, if you do things the right way and you treat people the right way and you work hard and put your heart and soul into things, that you can accomplish anything.
My name is Maggie Holt. I hit .409 to break the Kansas record, and I've started 174 consecutive games. But I am more than a number.